Good evening everybody and welcome back to a brand new year. Today we are going to be doing a brand new video and I'm going to be doing an underground bunker. Now I'm super excited about this. I think it's basically going to look pretty normal all across the outside, but I might do it as sort of like a sort of foresty kind of looking map. I don't even know. We're going to do basically just like a bunch of trees and things, and then underneath the ground we are then going to have basically an entire little city. It's going to have, maybe not a whole city, maybe like 6 houses, and then we're going to have like little roads going through them all, and we're basically just going to make it look like the outside world but underground. Okay, so we're going to start this lot I think is like 30 by 40, so it's quite a big lot. I don't know if we want to use the entire thing, but I'm gonna attempt to kind of use it. I'm gonna start, I guess, by just adding the entire basement tool down. We're gonna be making the whole thing basically in the basement. We'll start by just adding all of it down, and then I guess what I'm gonna do is just go in and add in a bunch of trees and things so that it looks more natural. We basically want it so that you can't really see what might be underneath, and obviously you can't anyway because it's a bunker. I'm just gonna scatter a few random bits around, like these flowers. We could add some rocks and things in too. Something else that I think we could do as well is just move the ground a little bit so that it looks again a little bit more natural looking, and obviously we want to add like dirt and things too. Okay, now we've kind of made it look a little bit more natural, like it could have just been a random other section over here or anything like that. We can then add in the section that leads us down into the bunker, which I'm thinking we could just do like a sort of random little hut, and then if you go through the hut you can then take a little ladder that takes you down. Obviously we could do a bunker where it looks like a little bit more realistic and it's just like a square in the ground or something, but I kind of like the idea that it's more of like a hidden bunker, like you can't really tell that it's there. So if we just do like a little square, I kind of want the square actually to be exactly on that end part, so it's 3 squares away. So if we just go 3 squares from the end, it'll be somewhere around here. So I might do it like right at the end over here. Annoyingly, because we've moved all of the ground and everything, it ends up adding this like little edge to it, which we might be able to make it look a little bit better. The issues that I'm kind of seeing here is that obviously we're not going to get any lighting down there, so we're going to have to do like all just really like sort of lit up. Maybe we could even add like street lamps maybe. I don't really know what kind of vibe I want it to have, but I want this little cabin to look kind of run down, so I'm going to use I think quite a lot of stuff from the like werewolf pack, because that always looks like kind of rustic looking. Okay, we're kind of getting there. It looks like a little bit rustic. Then just adding in our little base there. Let's change the roof. I'm going to include like a weird little window out the back as well. Okay, that's kind of all I was thinking. It's literally just this little hut that then can lead us down into the rest of it, and I'm just gonna literally use like a ladder or something in order to get down there. There we go, so we've got our ladder there now, which is looking pretty good. I might just add like a couple of barrels or something in there so that you can't really like it doesn't look like it's used for anything specific, just like a few little bits of decoration. There we go, that looks pretty good. And finally I'm just gonna add a couple of bits around here to make it look like it's a bit more natural in this actual lot. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. We can now go down and start working on our actual random bit at the bottom. Here is our bunker. It is very big. We have a lot to do there. I think I'm going to start off by doing like this section as a little like locked zone. So you need to get through there first in order to actually get to the bunker where everybody is, and it just makes it a little bit safer. I'm going to make this bigger as well. We'll do it a medium size just so that we have way more space. And then I want to use one of these like safe doors because I think that'll be perfect for it. So we have either that one or we have this one, which this one also looks really cool. I don't really know which one I want to use. This one's like a vault door. I kind of like this one more. I might go with this one. It is slightly bigger, so we're gonna have to expand it out a bit though. I might use this bit as like a little storage area. So what we'll do is go like this. We can have this as like maybe like a coat room or something where you can put things on to like I'm weirdly just thinking like Fallout here. It's like where you have all of your equipment, all of your guns, all of your different clothes that you can then wear that you can then go out and explore with. So I'm thinking I'm going to put both of those doors actually. We're going to have the main vault door here before you exit, and then we can have the other door next to it. That looks pretty secure. I think that would be quite difficult to get in. I think what would be good is to start start with splitting everything up. So let's think about how we want this to work. So obviously this is our little entranceway. I want a garden as well where we can grow things inside, because I think that's like the perfect idea of just like making your own food and things. So I think we'll split it into like segments. So this could be like our garden area. We could even have animals, but I don't know how well that's going to work. But we can have them all split off into sections. So here's like our garden zone. We could then have, I guess you could have like communal lots as well, where there's little like comfy areas where you can all sit and enjoy each other's company and things. Obviously these houses, like this is supposed to be the ground level, so you could have it still have more levels underneath if you needed to. So I'm trying to think if that's like a good idea. I might do that for some of the houses so that we have more space, but it depends on how much the houses actually take up. So if we split this off, so this is our like area where we can grow all our things and maybe have some animals and stuff too. We can then move it over to here where we've got all of our houses. So I could start doing the houses now. I kind of think it might be a good idea to do the road first. So if we do the road that comes across here, we can then sort of split it down the middle. So our road goes all the way down here and then down here. I'm trying to decide on whether we want 6 or 4 houses. I might do 4 just to make it a little bit easier, but they don't necessarily need to. I think they would just be kind of skinny. So if we split these up, then they each get 7 squares each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then basically that's their individual lot. So I guess we could then go ahead and add like a little garden and things to each of them. Here, I think that's looking pretty good. So we've got this area over here, which I'm not too sure what that's going to be yet. We've got each of these, which are houses. This is our road that leads through the entire thing. And then we've got this area, which is like the growing the food and everything zone. And then we've got this area, which is where we can have some stuff that prepares you for going in the outside world. So light wise, I am thinking something that looks quite like industrial, maybe something like this, like a factory one. I think there's other ones as well. Yeah, we've got like these ones that work that way too. So I'm going to add a bunch of these to the streets. This is all going to be like fencing anyway. It's not going to be squares, so it should be fine once change that up in terms of lighting. There you go. So just adding these fences in now. I might change these later. These are just kind of what I'm thinking for now so that we can get all of our lights in and actually see what we're... So then for our houses, I'm just going to do like this, I think. It's going to be absolutely tiny, but we can add multiple floors going down, which makes us have a little bit more space. These people at this end can have a little bit more space too. So these houses in the middle are basically the smallest ones, and then you have 4. These are the medium, which have 5, and then this is the biggest, which has 6. And we'll give them all basements so they have enough space to actually be able to live there. Okay, now we can go in and change it a little bit. I'm going to try and make it look a little bit nicer, because I think at the minute it does not look very nice. I want to add like some greenery, and we can add a bit of texture in there to just make it not look as shabby, because I just don't think there's much going on at the minute. Okay, I think this feels a little bit nicer. I like to think that they've been down there for a while and they've had to like rearrange things and make it look nicer, feel more homely. I guess these could all be like UV lights as well, which make more sense that there's like light down here and that there's things growing. Because if you had like UV lights everywhere, you probably would. I don't think it'd be super healthy for you like living there, but I'm sure it'd be fine. So then I was thinking in these little bits here, we can just have some grass to make it feel a little bit more welcoming. We could just add that into all of these. It also gives them just like a cute little garden as well, which makes it feel more homely. Then we need a path that leads all the way around all of this area. I think I'm just going to use like cobble or something. I think that'll go quite well with what we've already as like our walls here. This one looks quite nice. I do like this one. I was thinking about giving them a different one for their houses, but I think that looks actually pretty good. I think that's fine. Then I might do additional lights down here, but I'm not too sure because that will light it up quite a bit. Then I can't really decide on what I want this bit to be. I'm half tempted to make it like an animal section, like chickens or something. I think that could be kind of cute. We can put the chicken coop right at the end. So let's grab the grass again and we can add that in, and then let's grab chickens. Do need to work out what I want to do with all of this outside section as well. I'm half tempted to see if there's something we can get that kind of like dirt, but I feel like it's more likely it'd be like maybe brick or concrete or something. Let's have a look at concrete. So this is just solid concrete. I think like that kind of work. We'll do that for the inside of these sections too. Then we have our chicken coop, which I think we're just gonna go with a regular brown one. Yeah, I mean it doesn't perfectly fit. It's a little bit too big. I could make it smaller, or we could rotate it around a little bit and then it kind of fits better. I wanted it to be right at the end though, which is kind of annoying. I could just move it out a little bit, give it a bit more space. Then to give them water, I think I'm going to use like a fountain because it'll look a little bit more realistic to like, oh no, see, I'm trying to use a fountain, but it says I can't use Y next to or above basement. That's annoying, but I can use pools. Why can I use pools but not like fountains? Surely it's the same thing. So I might have to use a pool. It's gonna not look as good though, and it's gonna be weird when we then go down under here, but fine. I'm just gonna add it, we'll add it to this end bit here, and then I want to add some straw and stuff as well, and then I'm gonna add hay bales to make it look more realistic. And we do actually have a trough, but it's not for chickens. That's just for horses, I'm assuming. And I'm gonna use Alt and just raise this up a little bit so that we have a few stacked onto each other. There we go. That's kind of cute. I like that. Might change the background like color for the water just because it's very blue. And then finally, I think I'm just going to add in some little flowers and things to make it look a little bit prettier. Give the chickens a nice home to live in, despite the fact that they now live completely underground. There we go. I think that's kind of cute. I like that. That's a cute little house. They've got everything they need. Got to add in a gate as well. And if we go over to this section, let's work out all of this, which is basically just going to be where we're growing enough food to feed all of the people that live in all of these houses, which is going to be quite a lot of food. So I think what's best is we use these, maybe? We'll do a few of these just because they look the best, I think. I don't know whether you can only use them to grow big things though. I'm sure, I can't remember whether you do. Oh no, yeah, all 4 small gardens. So that's fine. There we go. And then I'm trying to work out what I want to add along the outside. We could just add dirt to make it look a bit more realistic, or we can add grass to make it look a little prettier. I feel like dirt's probably the best option, but I don't know whether we'll be able to find anything like that. I mean, this is like what they're calling the bottom of a basement, and it's actually kind of accurate to what dirt looks like in the game. So I think that's probably the best idea for it. And then I think, can you get sprinklers as well? That might be a good idea. We can, but it's not letting me do it because it must be outside, which means that it's all got to be done by hand, which to be fair is probably more realistic. So we've now done those bits. It doesn't look particularly pretty, but I don't think it would be in the first place anyway. I might put some gardening stuff in here actually, just so that you can then go in, do your bit of chores to help out everybody. Gonna do a little gate on this side, and then I think we'll add another one as well here. I could put all the gardening stuff at the end over here, maybe? We could do it as like a little gardening hut or something. Yeah, we'll do it at the end. There's not much going on this end anyway. So what I'll do is I'll just section it off like this, and then this will be like our garden. There we go. So we've got our little gardening hut here. I just added like a light that isn't like one of these long ones because it definitely wasn't going to fit in there. Then I'm thinking we could just include like this and then some of the stuff you hang up on the... So we've got these little like gardening tools and things, and I think that's pretty much what I was kind of thinking when I was thinking that. So there's our little sort of gardening shed, and then you can go in and do all of the gardening and start growing things. So let's move on now to our houses. I guess I'm going to try and make them look more similar on the outside, but then we can mix it up with what they look like on the inside a little bit. Alternatively, we could actually just make them slightly different for opposites. I don't really know. Let's because they're so small as well. We're going to struggle kind of to get everything in there. I got to try and work out how many people we want in there too. You could actually use this for the for rent pack, I think, if you wanted. But let's start with the outsides of all of the buildings, which I was just thinking we could use like this or something in order to just give them like that wooden outside look, because I don't think that looks too bad, and it is supposed to be like somewhat handmade too, because obviously they have built this entire thing underground. There we go. So we've now got all of the wooden outside to all of those, and we've got our little front gardens. We've got a little section that goes around the back. Now let's do our, I guess, the front door. I don't know whether I want to include windows down here. I guess I could include them on this side, and obviously this side has a little bit more space. I don't think I want to include them too much on here, just because then you'll be looking straight into someone else's house, which is, or you just see the side. You either see the side of the person's house next door, or you see another window, in which case you're looking into their house. For our front doors, I think I might just use this one that we used upstairs. It's a little bit more rustic, but I kind of think it works with the like sort of homemade bunker kind of aesthetic. So I'm going to add that to all of those, and then obviously we are going to go in and add some windows. I really like these. I think they are super cute, so I'm going to include those here, and then I'll add them to either side of the door here, just so that we do have extra outside light coming in. And then we can add another one on this side probably as well. Then I do think I'm going to make these front gardens look a little bit nicer too. We could add those little like planters actually. That'd be really cute. Like, do we have these in like like a lighter color. Yeah, these are cute. I'm gonna add a couple of these around just on the front windows, I think. And then I do want to add a little bit to the gardens too, just so they don't look so uniform. Although to be fair, the uniform look of them does make it look a little bit more like a bunker, because it wouldn't be like super like flowery and things, but we have done flowers over there, so we could do it. I might just add a few randomly scattered around so that it looks a little bit more natural instead. We could do some little bushes and stuff too, just in some corners. Might add some additional flowers and bushes and things, or like we've got some grass that we can include too. Just want to try and make it look a little bit natural. Okay, I think that's pretty good. It does look a lot more natural now. So let's go ahead and start doing the inside of our houses.
If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to like, share and subscribe.
So I'm just going to do the layouts for them, and then I do also want to do this section over here where we've got the like sort of exit to the actual bunker itself. So obviously the main thing here is that we have stairs as well that lead us down into the second part. So what I think I'm going to do is just go along the edges and just add in these stairs first. So I'm thinking we could do, let's see how much space have we actually got. I'm trying to think of, I think these would be like one person, like one bed, like houses? Are they houses, apartments? Like a one bed house. I definitely don't think that you could fit more than like one person in that one. So because it's so much smaller than the other two, but we might be able to try and fit more like 2 people in these ones. We're gonna start, I guess, by sectioning it off. This is like a tiny build challenge is what it feels like now. I do kind of feel like what I could do is actually just create one on each side and then just duplicate it and move it over to the other side. That should somewhat work, so I think we can do that. So let's just do all of this one side first, and then we'll just literally duplicate it and put it on the other side. It doesn't matter too much that it's very similar. I feel like they would make them really similar anyway. I feel like with this one we could do it so that it's split like this. I do want to kind of split off these little stairs away from them just to give us more space. But this one I think has enough space that you could like stick a living room or something here, and then maybe have an open doorway here leading you through to the kitchen area. So let's do those bits first. So we're going to have our open doorway, which we'll just go with this one, I think. If we do that area as the kitchen, we can do this area as a dining area, and then this could be like the living space, but it's still going to be very small. Or if we pulled this in a bit, I guess you could have that as a 3-person table. I feel like that kind of works, and then that gives us more space here for a living space. It's still not that much space. I mean, to be fair, you could fit a living room table in that other section anyway. Then we can have a little door here that leads us through to the stairs in each of these houses. Then let's add in some lights. So obviously we have got like more rustic kind of lights all across the outside section. I want to try and find something similar, but the thing is these are so big that they take up a lot of the screen when you're looking at it. So something more like this would be better, and I can even make them smaller. Okay, so that's all the lights for the upstairs section. Obviously we still have our downstairs, but I'm going to do the upstairs first, I think. So this is our living room space. I'm half tempted to put like 3-person sofa here and then put the TV on the other side with maybe like a bookshelf or something next to it, just to give us like that extra bit of space kind of, and it allows us to have a 3-person sofa, which is good too. It just doesn't give us any kind of like side table space. And for this one I think we're gonna go like shabby, and I don't really know what else would work for it. Or you go like farmhouse as well. I feel like either of those kind of styles would work well. So we've got these ones which again are like handmade, which sort of work, but I'm not a big fan of like the pattern on the actual sofa. I mean, you could go with a Chesterfield. I feel like it kind of works with the vibe. I don't know how, like, I guess they can get furniture and just bring it down, can't they? It'd be kind of difficult, but they could do that. This is the bigger house, so I guess this is the more expensive one, maybe? And then what I was thinking for the other side is that we could have a TV and some bookshelves or something. So I could go with just a nice brown like TV cabinet there, and then we can get a bookshelf to go next to it. There's not many like skinny bookshelves, so I think we're gonna have to just deal with this one. I haven't really thought about what walls we could have all across the inside of this. I guess you'd have like wallpaper maybe, or just like painted like a plain color like this would kind of work too. I'm trying to think of a way to make this feel less boring, because at the moment I'm not a massive fan of the way that this is looking. I don't know if it's just because it's super tight or like what, but it just doesn't look that great. I think it might be the mishmash of some of these objects, so I'm just going to remove them and let's see if we can make it look a little bit better from working backwards, picking the walls and things first. I think it also looks like super dark, and I think that might be contributing, so I might add some additional lights in. A little trick for if you're looking at something and it's like super dark and you want it to look just like a little bit lighter without adding like a more modern light is, you can literally just put a light on top of another light if you have bb.move objects turned on, and then it gives you way more light in the actual room. I think that looks way better now that I've added that in. So let's go back and try and make it look better again. The problem is that I don't want it to look too modern, because if I end up making it look really modern, it's not going to look right. I think a lot of creams and browns are going to do much better in this kind of like build, just because it looks way more natural. Then we can go ahead and add in our little bits. I didn't actually end up adding any walls. Let's go in and add our walls now. I am thinking about doing something more simple, just with like a trim or something. As it's a very small space, using like something that's got a lot of pattern to it isn't always the best idea. I'm just going to go with something like this. I think this is fine. I am going to go ahead and do the same thing in each of the different houses as well, because they don't need to be super like unique looking. We'll add some pictures and stuff to it too though, just of the outside world, make them remember what it was like. Floor wise, I think just like wooden floorboards definitely the way to go here. I think this one kind of matches with a lot of the wooden trims that we pick. Definitely want to include like a lot of plants, because we don't have that natural lighting coming in from anywhere. It's looking a little bit dull, but it's quite easy to then just go ahead and add like various plants scattered around. I'm gonna add one here. Yeah, there is probably fine. And then obviously we want our sofa as well. I am considering adding like this in, and then we could add a little like longer version at the end. Do it in black, but it looks a little bit too bougie. The green one kind of looks all right. Let's do the green one, and then we can add in like a longer version there so that it like feels a little bit more unique. Might make this into an end one though. Yeah, that looks all right. Then I want to include a little picture up here as well, or we could add in a picture frame. That way people can put their own pictures in, but it's not that big. I kind of do want to include this somewhere though, maybe like here. I do like this idea that they have all of these like outside pictures that make it feel like they will remember what it was like pre whatever happened to mean that they have to be in this bunker. So we've got all of these like memories almost. There we go. I think that's actually kind of cute. We do have like the little TV area at the end, some books, and then we've got a seating area. So then if we go through here, we can then get to our small kitchen slash dining. So I guess like over here we should put the dining table, and we'll just go with like cute little like 3-person table maybe. I feel like that kind of works. We've kind of gone with this like tealy color as like our sort of secondary color palette in this house. Obviously we do need something on this wall too. We do have quite high walls. I did that on purpose so that it didn't feel so tight in this bunker. Just have a little bit, that kind of works. Then let's go over to our kitchen. So we do actually have a decent amount of space for a kitchen. I've done smaller kitchens, and we can go with a similar color for what we did before with our dining table and our little sofa in the other room. And we do actually have enough space in this slightly bigger house to have a corner like tilt around a little bit. I don't know if we have enough space to add, so I guess if the fridge was there, yeah, we could probably have another counter. I might make that actually the sink. It gives us 2 counters to come, which is a good amount of space. It's looking pretty good. And then I might add some cabinets all the way across here. I don't really know how you would go about getting rid of all of the fumes from cooking in a bunker. I feel like somewhere you'd have to have like a bunch of tubes that link up, and then it'll just release it outside, but then obviously you're kind of drawing attention then. I actually kind of like these cabinets more. Let's use these ones instead. I've never used these ones before. I actually kind of like them with these, like I've kind of just made them myself by just adding a shorter one underneath them. I'm not a big fan of how quickly it drops off when you've got like taller roofs. And then we will put an exhaust in. I'm not too sure like how it works realistically, but it's fine. We'll just go with like that one there. I think that kind of works. Then we can add in our little bits of decoration to the kitchen. We've got some aprons, some herbs, added just like a little flag, and then we've got this bit above the sink where you can put all the bits after you've finished washing them. So I think our kitchen's looking pretty good. We can then move on to our downstairs section, which I am worried about fitting everything in, but we'll see what we can fit in. So I'm going to use this section right next to the stairs, I think, is the bathroom. I think section the whole thing off straight away. Obviously my idea was that I can try and fit 2 bedrooms down here. So what size are we looking at? It's quite tight. So this is actually big enough for a bathroom, kinda. If you put the door like here, if you put the door there, you can put a shower there and a sink and toilet there. So that does actually kind of work. Then this can be a main bedroom, and this can be a main bedroom. So to be fair, you've got a decent amount of space. It's not too bad. Yeah, that kind of works. Let's do that. You do also have like, I could do additional space over here as like a laundry room or something. I don't really know what else you'd have it as. Fair. You could just put something there. We'll work it out in a second. second. Then let's go ahead and add in our doors. So I'm just going to use these sort of older wooden doors. Then for the hallway, I'm going to use the same flooring, like the same walls that we used there and the same flooring as upstairs. I'll do something different in the bedrooms though, I think, just to make it a bit more unique. We could also add carpet into the bedrooms. I think that makes it a little bit more unique as well. Let's just go with this nice cream color. Then I think let's go with green and yellow just to like mix it a bit. And then for the bathroom, I'm thinking we could go with some tile. Yeah, just like white tile kind of works. Then I might put some like something at the end of this corridor, but I'm not too sure what. I guess you could do more storage kind of thing. Could do it just a bookcase. That kind of looks nice. Yeah, I like that. Then let's go into these bedrooms. So I'm thinking that this could be a bit more of a kid's room and this could be like an adult's room. Luckily, we can perfectly fit a double bed there. We don't really have a massive amount of space either side, but that's fine. If I push this off there as well, we can put a small like wardrobe here. Go grab a small wardrobe. There's not many of them to pick from. We do have this one though, which I think is like actually pretty fitting. Then let's see if we can get some skinny side tables. Are these ones small? You could make them smaller. It kind of fits. They're very tiny. Then we can just do those either side. Yeah, that kind of works. Then I'm going to do like wall lights, like here, and there we go. I think that's looking pretty good. And then obviously we do have this end of the bed section too, so I'm considering adding just like a mirror or something in this corner. There we go. And then finally I just add in a little picture, and I think that's the parents' room done. It looks pretty cute. Then we can move on to the kids' room, which we do have a decent amount of space for the kids' room too. We go with this one. We've done quite a few bits of green and things in this, so the green color kind of works too. We'll just pop it straight at the end. I might move this over to like here so that we can put a little chair in the corner too. I think we need a rug as well. I really like the ones from My First Pet pack. These ones are kind of cute too. We could actually go with like a little sleeping like sheep. We don't actually have sheep though at all. Like in here we only have chickens. Here we go. I like these ones. These, like, even just the plain ones of these like look so nice, just the shape and everything of them. But there's obviously animal ones like this little frog, which is absolutely adorable, that I'm just going to include in there because it's green and it's just too cute not to include. And then over here I'm going to add in a little seat, obviously some books, and then we could do a lamp as well. So I'm going to add the books there. Then there are seats that are also absolutely adorable, but I might include like one that's a bit more plain just because it'll look a little bit too much like it's like new items. This is quite good. It's just literally a covered chair to make it look like it's a bit nicer than it is. Then we'll just add in like an old lamp. Yeah, I think that's cute. We also need some kids' toys, of course, just to scatter around. And I might make this bear really small and just put it in the corner over. There you go. That's a cute kids' room. Cool. So that's the bedrooms done. We then have the bathroom over here to do. So I kind of preemptively worked this out. We're going to have our toilet and our sink there, and then a shower in this corner here. I might go with this. I quite like that like sink as just a bit more of a rustic style, even though it's not meant to be rustic. It weirdly looks it. And then same with this toilet here. Above there, obviously we can put a mirror too. Then we can go over here and do our shower. So I'm just going to choose like a quite basic one. We're not going to go with, I guess we could go with something like that. That does actually kind of work. Yeah, that kind of works. We'll go with that one. And then I might add some like towels or something to this wall here, because we do have this one that comes on wood, like a wooden rail, which is pretty. Okay, so I think that's that house done then. We've done our first tiny little house. We can then, I'm going to basically just go through and do all of these now, and then we can go over to the other side and duplicate them, and then that makes it a little bit easier. I could change a few things up about them, maybe just like the designs of some things that are in there. So this one's going to be much harder to do, this house. It is much smaller than the last one. In fact, it's at like literally the smallest house that we have, so I'm just trying to think of a way that will make everything fit. So obviously we could do something similar where this is our living space. Our kitchen area could literally just be dragged all the way across here. I'm half tempted to have it so that it curls around the corner, and then we can have this being like seating. We might not even be able to fit a TV in, but that's fine as long as we have like a sofa somewhere. I think it's fine. But yeah, if we do like maybe like a bar seating area there, it might have enough space. So I think we'll start with the kitchen just because of that difficulty, and just make sure that we can fit everything in with a bit more wooden industrial maybe for this one, just to like change it a bit. So obviously we need one counter to be able to cook on, a minimum. So if the fridge was here, oven's here, and then we have if we put a bar there, that might work to allow us to eat, and we might be able to also put a kitchen sink on there, maybe. Let's see if we're able to do that. Yeah, so we can put a kitchen sink there. It looks a little bit odd. Can I make it darker? Yeah, darker is fine. And then we can put our oven here, or if we move that up, it might be a bit better. It would be very tight, but it does actually kind of work. So I guess we'll go with that. There we go. I think that does actually kind of work as a kitchen. It is very tight, but it's fine. We can then go ahead and add in these stools. I am going with like a slightly more industrial look, but obviously we still want to kind of do it a bit rustic. Then that gives us our very tight kitchen space. I'm going to add in just minimal decoration because we can't really fit a lot in there. I could do like cabinets actually up this wall, but I feel like then it's going to start getting a bit crowded. What I could do instead is actually just some shelves. If we grab, let's see if we can find some in brown. If we grab these, we can then just put some shelves up there and add some bits. There we go. And then we can go over here and do our like living space area. So I'm trying to work out where I could put things. To be fair, we've got like an okay amount of space. We could actually put a TV on the wall here, a little plant in the corner or something, and then do the sofa on the other side. I feel like that actually kind of works given how small this space is. This also kind of works because if you wanted to sit here and watch the TV, you kind of can. I think it'd probably be best to go with a 2-person sofa, and then we can put a little side table next to it. I think that'll look a little bit nicer. I kind of like the pillows on this one, so I think I'm going to go with that. Then let's grab a side table. This one kind of goes with it actually. So yeah, that's actually pretty cute. I like that. And then we could add a little rug in as well just to make it more cozy. Even just thinking like a brown one like that works. Then I'm going to add a side lamp onto that table, or we could add some candles to make it feel even cozier. Then let's grab a picture for behind the sofa. We could go with a similar one from the last place. Then I am thinking like a hanging plant or something as well. Could go with this one. A little bit dangerous over the candles, but it's fine. I'm sure it'll be okay. Yeah, that's cute. I like that actually. I didn't think I'd like this tiny build as much. We could add some decoration to these walls as well, like some aprons or something. Yeah, okay. I kind of like that. I think that looks fine the way it is. I don't know whether I want to add something maybe just little like this to the end just so that it's got a bit more decoration. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks all right actually. Okay, let's move downstairs then, where we've got to work out bathroom, and I'm just going to do one bed in this one, otherwise it's going to be way too tight. So we'll mix it up this time. We'll put bedroom on this side, and then we'll do the bathroom on the other. So let's go little hallway maybe, and we can have a bath in this one because we do have a little bit more space. Then I think we'll go with this kind of tiling for the bathroom, and then I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. I just do the same wooden flooring across the hallway and in the bathroom. Actually, I could change the theme up a bit. I don't know why I would change it to though. Could do white or a slightly different wood. How does that? It doesn't look too bad actually. It is weird having two different woods right next to each other though. Might do just like that one because it's quite simple. I might do wooden in the bedroom as well this time. I am also thinking go with like a single bed for this, and it could just be one person, just because then we have a bit more space to walk around as well. Then we can do a wall mirror this time, and then I wanted to do a wardrobe that just slot into this corner here. Or alternatively, we make that a desk and actually just put a wardrobe here because there is enough space for it this time. Just have this weird little corner desk like slotted in. There you go. I think that's kind of cute. We'll add in a little chair to it. We'll just go with like something simple, even just like this one kind of works. And then we do have enough space to have a little side table next to this bed as well. Just go with the same one we have. Then finally, we'll give them a little tower in the corner there. I think that's a pretty good bedroom. Then we can move on to the bathroom, which we do have much more space in this one. So I can add a bath shower, I think, to this one. We'll just go with the simple one that looks like that. And then we'll add, actually, I'll put it on the other side. And then we'll add our sink and toilet onto this side. There we go. There's our bathroom for this place. It does come with a towel, so I might, do I still want to include a towel? I might still include a towel on the side just because I think it does make it look a little bit better. I guess you'd have multiple towels as well. There you go. So there's our next house done. Very small one, but I think we managed to fit everything in quite well. And then we've finally got our last house here. I'm going to take a break from this last house, and we're going to actually just quickly go over here and do this section because I kind of want to do it just to see what it's going to look like. So I'm going to use concrete or something in this base part. Even just like that, I think looks a lot nicer. And then I'm basically going to do like lockers, I guess, because that kind of makes sense because it's like storage. So we'll just do like lines of lockers, I think. And then we'll do like, I guess, seating in the middle. That kind of makes sense. And I was going to go with like benches like this because that feels like that's probably what you'd have here. I feel like that looks about right. There isn't really a lot else that I was like kind of picturing for this area. It's kind of just where you can prepare yourself to go outside. So I think that kind of looks fine. Let's move over then to our last house where we have just like one line of squares more than what we had in the small place. Work out for this one whether I could fit 2 bedrooms in here. I think I could, because we could almost do it with this one. We just ended up with quite a big bedroom. I think if we, let's split this here. So let's try and work out the bathroom first. So, I mean, the bathroom worked quite well on that other one that we did where it was here. Obviously, we don't have enough space though if we do it that way to actually fit in a double bed. Let's do it like that's a bathroom, then this is a bedroom, and this is a bedroom. I feel like that kind of works. We'll have to see what we can fit in. We can fit in a double bed into one of them, so that's all that really matters, is that we have one double and one single. So that kind of works. We can then go upstairs and just start working on this area again. I'm considering making it a little bit different, where we actually have the living space over here and we can have the kitchen over here. It's going to be a little bit tight, but let's see whether that works. So the fridge is probably going to go here. We can then put a sofa there maybe. So if we put the fridge there, we can then have, I guess, like overhead storage or something. So if we did 3 cabinets here and then a fridge here, it might work. I'm going to mix up the fridge because I think we just did smeg for like all of the other ones. I think that kind of works. The problem is that the window is like really close to that fridge, so it ends up looking a little bit strange. Okay, that fridge is a little bit better. So it should work fine with this because one of these can be a sink, the other one can be an oven. It kind of works. So we'll do the sink here, oven here, and then this is where you actually make the food. Okay, yeah, looking kind of cute. We can then do some cabinets and things around here. We'll go around there, around this like little window that we've got, and then I guess we need an exhaust here, and then that should kind of work. Okay, as an alternative, we could fiddle around with this cabinet and try and make it look like it kind of blends in with the, bring everything up again. Okay, yeah, that kind of works. And then let's get the exhaust and put it here. Now that we've finished our kitchen, we can move on to the other side, which is going to be our dining space. Just going to go with a classic table and chairs for this one. Don't want to do too much. Then we can move over to our weird living space. I'm not too sure how I'm going to get this to work. I think I'll put a TV over here and we can just put the sofa on this side. What we could do is actually put a corner sofa here, an armchair here, and the sofa here so that it's a bit more of a corner section. So we've got our sofa and our chair. I might move that forward a little bit just to give us an extra like little bit of room that it's not hiding behind this fridge here. Then I'm gonna add just a little light next to it as well. Did more decorations. We've got some pictures, plants, some light, and now I'm gonna do this side of the room, which I am actually tempted to do like something similar to the first place we did, where it's a bookshelf and then right next to it is the TV, just because we do kind of have that much space now. There we go. If we push these 2 cabinets together, it actually kind of looks like it's all one unit instead of it being very separate, which I think makes it look a little bit better. Then we've got our TV on there, so you have a perfect view of it from that comfy little seat area over here. I think it needs a rug just to make it look more comfortable. There we go. That looks really comfortable. Cool. So that's our upstairs section. We can then move to downstairs where we've already moved everything around and worked out where it's all going to be. Start by just adding in all of our walls. I'm just going to use the same for all of it now. So I think this room here is going to be like a kid's room, and then we can do an adult's room in the other room, and that should work quite well, just because then we have one house that has like a baby room, we got another one that has a kid's room, and then we've got like a purely adult room, and I think that kind of makes more sense. Gives us spread out so that if you wanted to play like various families, then it still works. So I'm decorating this kid's room almost like they're like an artist. We've done some like little drawings on the wall. We've got this little like kids table. I guess if you had kids in here though, we don't have like a school or anything, so I guess everybody just end up being homeschooled, just adding a bunch of stuff. It kind of looks like drawings and things around. Then I think that's pretty good for the kids room. It's quite small, so there isn't really a massive amount that we can add in there. I could actually make it a bit more kiddie by adding like a cute little rug. I absolutely love this piece of bread with an egg on it rug, but I don't know if it particularly works in this room. This one kind of works. It's a bit more like, it's a bit less childy though. We might put that in the other room. Let's find a different one for this one though. Maybe just a little yellow one. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, cool. So that's the kids room. We can then move on to the adults room, which I do like this rug, so I'm going to include the rug. Then I'm thinking we put the double bed along here, and then we can put a wardrobe at the end. Also can add a picture above, and then instead of putting side tables, I think I'll just plants for this one, just to mix it a little bit. Okay, so I've just put a couple of bits on the walls. We've got a mirror there. We've got our wardrobe. I think that's kind of looking good. We can then move over to our last room, which is the bathroom. I think for this one, we'll go with a brick kind of look to it. And then I will go with like some kind of tiles on the floor instead this time. Let's go with these ones. Pretty. Then I'm going to do a shower bath again, just because I do kind of prefer that if we have the space for it. So we'll go with that shower bath. Obviously we need the towels, so I'm going to use this little towel rack here, and then we can add in our sink and toilet on the other side. There we go. So I think that looks pretty cute. I might just add a little towel as well, just directly next to it there. And there we go. So that's all of it done. I can't really think of a whole lot else that we can actually include in this weird little bunker. I think it's got pretty much everything there. What I'm going to do now is basically just spend a quick moment and transfer all of that side to this side, so that we've basically got it just mirrored on the other side. You could probably use this in the for rent pack, and I think it'd be kind of cool as like a little challenge to try and like keep everybody just down in here and you can't leave. But let me know what you think of that, and maybe I should do that as a challenge in the future, but let me know in the comments. And finally, after copying all of the 3 houses on that one side onto the other side, we are finished. I actually really like how this came out. I like how unique all of the houses are. Obviously we did duplicate one side to the other, but I think if you were to make this yourself, you could obviously change all of the rooms around, add your own items in, and make it more unique to whoever's living there. I think that my favourite part is actually the fact that we managed to add in a little chicken coop. I like all of the greenery on the outside of the houses as well, and I like how hidden away the entire bunker is and how it's just in a little shed but that no one's ever going to really have a look at. But let me know what you think of this in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post long content like this every Wednesday and Friday, and I try to post shorts the rest of the week. If you enjoyed this video, on the screen now is another recommended video, so check that one out too, and I hope you all have a great evening.